Now, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome everyone back to another episode of CSGO News. This is the series where I show and tell you what's been going on in the CSGO community for this past week. That, of course, can have anything to do with the CSGO pro scene. Let's just say someone leaves and then joins a new team. It affects a lot of different things, especially the CSGO economy. We also talk about CSGO investing, where something goes up or down in a very short period of time. You're unsure if it's safe enough to invest in. Maybe it's volatile in price. We look over some data to try to give you a better answer. We also talk about past, previous, and miscellaneous CSGO updates and ones coming in the future as well. In today's video, we're pretty much going to be touching all bases, which is pretty awesome. It looks like CSGO is trying to hide some stuff at this point in time, with them deleting some blog posts. Player count, despite no updates, is of course increasing. The market's growing. And we're also going to take a look at how Chinese New Year is affecting the CSGO market.
Now, today's video sponsor is, of course, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly, trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in-game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
And the very first thing I want to take a look at today is the CSGO pro scene. Ever since the Rio Major, a lot of teams have been performing pretty poorly, at least not up to our standards as the public and as viewers at home. FaZe Clan was one of these teams. They just haven't been performing the way we all thought they would because they won Antwerp. Going forward, we thought they'd be a little better, but that wasn't really the case. The Rio Major, they did pretty bad. The Blast event following that also didn't do great. As of today, FaZe just beat OG at the major premiere for Paris upcoming in the next couple of months. They're going to be going into Group B now, which is pretty awesome. As it goes for the rest of the teams, well, they're also doing pretty good, kind of up to our standards. I'm hoping for the Paris Major, teams go up to our standards as well. And it's not like the Rio Major where teams just don't perform. It's not really fun to watch. Yeah, sure, it's cool to watch the underdogs, but not every single game. Speaking of players, let's discuss the player count. It's still extremely high, which is pretty crazy considering there's been a very lack of updates this past little while. It's been 200 days since CSGO's last case, a little over that at this point. No news of an operation, no news of some sort of anti-cheat. The skins community is also thriving. The game is pretty healthy at this point. Now, can that change? Throw a curveball at you for today. And well, what I mean by that is if CSGO, or specifically Valve, decides to update the game in a very stupid way, because at this point, since it's been 200 days since the last case, we haven't gotten an update in this new year. Let's just say they throw a really stupid, dumb update out there. Could that somehow affect the player count? Would that cause people to leave the game, let's just say? Speaking of updates, let's hop into that now. Aquarius is added again on Twitter, which is pretty interesting. Now, has his track record been 100% right? Not really. Neither has Gabe Followers when he did this. Pretty much what Aquarius and Gabe Follower did and are doing right now is are looking when CSGO devs are deciding to update the game without fully updating it. They're putting the update there, so when it's time to update, we can all download it. This has been happening for the past 3 weeks, if really all last year too. If you're unfamiliar with what the devs have been working on, just last week they updated a blog post and posted that, and Aquarius saw that, and that's exactly what you think it is when a CSGO update comes out. There's a blog post that you see that covers everything, every little thing that got changed, at least the big ones anyway. If it was an operation or something, that's what would be on there. As of today, according to Aquarius, it's actually been deleted. So on January 11th this happened, which I made a CSGO news video, new hidden CSGO blog post found, and he just says, update, this blog post was deleted. This guy says they're trying to uncook, which I gotta agree with. Now, there's one of 2 reasons why I think that happened. First one, not as likely, but it could be. The update just wasn't ready to get pushed out. Maybe they thought, for an example, let's just throw this out there, that Source 2 was ready to get released. Maybe now they're realizing that it's not ready. There's some small things or some big things that need to get changed. They're not fully confident in it yet. Number 2, the full option here, and the most likely one, is I think they see that people like Aquarius, Gabe Follower, and people like me and other people are covering it. They don't want that to happen, so they're trying to retrace their steps and delete things like that, so we don't know what's going to happen. A big part and big reason why I don't think CSGO likes to talk about updates before they come out is it's sad, but this is the truth I think at this point, is if they did discuss an update, let's just say they talk about the new case that's going to come out very soon, that's going to somehow affect the CSGO market, which I know people care about CSGO. I love the game itself. Counter-Strike is my favorite game, not just because of skins, but it would affect the skins market. People would sell things off early, kind of like a panic sell before it even comes out, if that makes any sense. Sure, it wouldn't happen like that, but it would happen on a much larger scale. Let's just say if it was an operation. And the tweet that really caught my eye today by him, he says, well, what are we thinking? Today is the day for CSGO to drop the first update of 2023. I'm going to say probably not, but as you can see today, the blog activity was detected, happened again just a few minutes later. So it seems like they are working on something, and that's my point. They have been been working on something the past little while. But that also goes to say, in the summer of 2022, we saw a lot of Source 2 rumors, and also leaks and data mines like we're seeing right here, that were hard and in front of our eyes. Could it just be another thing where it just come and goes? Most likely it's just a music kit and the Rio sale removal. At this point in time, we're just a couple weeks away from this being the longest 75% off sale for Rio. I think it's going to get removed, and whenever that happens, I think it's going to be pretty exciting as a CSGO fan. I think I would expect some sort of update right after, because Valve is going to want some passive income and to fill that void that's on the shop. Sure, they have the boardroom capsule. Sure, they have the 10th anniversary capsule. They're going to want something new for us to buy. Since it's been 200 days, we're right around that time where we should get a case. I think we're going to get one whenever that sale does get chopped. Now, if that happens, that's a video for a different time. But if we did get the one-off case, there wouldn't be an operation anytime soon. If an operation doesn't come out as well, I think there's also a chance they could throw in the Anubis collection of skins very soon. We get an idea of what they look like before the next upcoming major, that being in Paris. As it goes for the CSGO market, Stockholm and Antwerp are performing extremely well. It seems to be that Stockholm's going in the direction of all these capsules eventually are going to be a little over $1 consistently on the Steam market. Antwerp, it looks like in the next little while, a lot of these capsules are probably going to start hitting $1 if this hype continues and keeps up. Speaking of stickers and capsules now, Antwerp's capsules are being bought up and removed from the community market like crazy. Stockholm is being bought up, but people are noticing that they're not being applied as much as, let's just say, if the same amount of capsules were bought in Antwerp, people are applying a lot more of those stickers. Not to say it's low in Stockholm, but it's just not really high. And in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense because of how expensive these stickers are now. You have to be damn well sure you want to make a craft or apply those things onto a weapon before you do so. As it goes for Chinese New Year, we're not really noticing any huge adjustments to the market. We'll really have to wait until the end of February to get the whole unboxing list to see how many cases were unboxed, and capsules, of course, because by the end of this one, you can't really get the best idea. Next month, I think it will be higher, and I think we'll see maybe 1 million more cases or something unboxed, which sounds like a lot, maybe a little less than that, but you get my point. I don't think skins are really going to get heavily affected by this. That's just it. Speaking of the skins market, things really haven't gone up or down. Prices are relatively pretty stable. A lot of the mid to higher tier knives had a big correction, had a lot of new highs, and they just recently dropped to a pretty stable straight line. For an example, yesterday in Mando Monday, I answered a question. This guy said, should I buy a higher tier knife like a flip knife ruby? Is it the right time? I would say so, yes, because if you look at the past couple of months for the graphs anyway on a place like Buff, for the mid to higher tier knives, which are the ones that have mostly gotten affected, they've hit a lot of new all-time highs, gotten very expensive. Now they've dropped a little bit and they're very straight in a line, which is very good, especially if you want to buy in. Something I always suggest, if you play the game on a daily basis, especially for something like this, it's always going to go up, especially if you're looking towards the future and the long term of things for you holding it. And if you play it every single day, it's not really going to feel like much of an investment, especially if you're already willing to spend that much money. Now that pretty much wraps up CSGO news as of today. I am expecting some sort of update pretty soon. Now what that's going to entail, I'm not 100% sure. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.